Hey everybody at A10 Talk. This is Zachary Weiss here with the St. Louis women's basketball portion of our team previews, and we are with the women's basketball coach, Lisa Stone. Lisa, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Zach. How are you?
Other than the complexities of the Zoom platform, everything's been going well. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. I appreciate all you do and your support of the A10 and women's basketball. I really do, Zach.
Lisa, the check's in the mail. I appreciate that. For you personally, just your expectations going into the season, just what have the points of emphasis been, and how have the ladies bought in so far?
Well, ladies bought in great. I mean, we have a small team this year, Zach. We lost a couple, and that's common throughout the country. We had a really tough year with three shutdowns in a row and 48 days with no practice or games. Certainly not complaining because our team caught fire and really played well in postseason, the best we've ever done. Everybody's back. That is excited about making a run at A10 championship this year. We have 11 players, two newcomers, two new names that were on our roster last year, didn't play a lot. One didn't play at all due to transfer. That's Subal Ghul, a 6'5" post from Arizona. And then Marissa Warren, transferred from DePaul, didn't become eligible until Christmas. But again, we were in quarantine so much that, she got her feet wet, but I'm really excited about those two in particular, along with our returners. Expectations, we want to score more points, Zach. We're a very defensive oriented team. You know that. We pride ourselves in defense and rebounding. We've been at the top of the league in those areas, right near the top in both areas for the last few years. But what we talked a lot about this year, especially with a core with, the Brooke and M and Kaija back, is to really lean into scoring more points, being less predictable, getting out, scoring more points, getting more from our defense. So you're going to see some adjustments in terms of pressuring different areas to try to turn people over and be a little bit, maybe take a few more risks defensively. But the goal is to score more points and put ourselves in position through the non-conference, very difficult non-conference schedule, to put ourselves in an at-large situation, as well as put St. Louis in the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history.
You just mentioned the defensive risks. Does that go into the offense, like you said, taking more risks and trying to be more high scoring? And what gives you confidence in those risks?
Well, I really, we've got some experienced guards. I mean, Marissa Warren and Kaija and Brooke are really, really good defenders. Mariam is one of the best rebounders in the league. Natalie McNeil and Kylie Bess are two guards that no one really knows about. They're freshmen last year, and all freshmen really are freshmen again, in my opinion. I mean, they didn't have a normal freshman year, and they look really, really good. Where we've got some length and some athleticism on the perimeter that may allow us to get out there and pressure the ball, turn some people over, trap and press in some certain situations. And so I'm really excited about that, giving us some chance to get out and score some easy baskets.
Of course, one of the departures, I would be remiss not to mention Rachel's departure, especially from the three line. Just how have you guys in practice taken those strides to the 3-point line? Obviously, Maya was a prolific 3-point shooter as well.
Yeah, well, and the thing about the 3-point line and it being pushed back, I think you're going to see a big difference in percentages. I really do. I mean, it takes a minute to get used to that. That's a long ways. I think there's going to be a number of calls, deep corner threes, men and women's basketball stepping out of bounds. You see that in the NBA a lot, just because you're so close to the sideline in that deep corner. We will defend it out there. I mean, we've done a good job at that. And the main thing is, long shots or long rebounds. It then is to, certainly go get the rebound after that. But, we do have 3-point shooters. Kylie Bess is a kind of a little secret to us because she's a lefty shooter, 6'1", over 2,500 points in high school. Those she didn't see a lot of action last year. And I'm excited about her. She's a knockdown 3-point shooter. So is Peyton Kennedy. Kaija's really upped her 3-point shooting. People like to go under ball screens on her or give her trouble, get the ball out of her hands. We've been working with her off the ball a little bit. Coach Deion Thomas, the new assistant to my staff, has really worked with Kaija off the ball. And when she gets back they're not going to, honor that shot. She's going to shoot it. And, so far so good. Everybody's undefeated. Everybody's pumped up right now, Zach. Everybody's fired up. Things are great. We've got to stay healthy. We've got to continue to stay together. But when you have a small team, 11, 12 players, in the grand scheme of things, that is my ideal number. Kind of the old school traditional coach with the multiplication of 2, 3s, 4s, and 2 groups of 6. It's nice. You want to avoid injury, certainly, but everybody's got a chance to play then. There's not 4, 5, 6 people sitting on the end of the bench, not even getting into games or putting in the work. So that has been it's kind of a welcome joy each day. Those kids come and get work in, and we're excited, but we got a tough schedule ahead.
Given those numbers, the 11 or 12, how has that made practices challenging? Obviously, you can't afford to lose one at this point, especially in a scrimmage kind of a situation.
You just mentioned, I didn't quite hear that, Zach.
With the 11 or 12 that are in practice, how important is it to just make sure you're pushing them, but also keeping them healthy given the lesser numbers?
That great question. Great question. Well, one is the NCAA passed the fact that managers can practice. That's huge. So we have 12 to 16 every day with extra bodies, so we can work on execution, which actually is nice. You start working on your rotations, but I'm also conscious too. I've never been a 3-hour practice. I talk too fast. I move too fast, and we get things going. So we're 90 minutes to 2 hours. Teaching the last half hour probably of that 2-hour practice and keeping people fresh and healthy. I pushed them a little bit, we went 4 straight days in a row, then a day off. It's a healthy balance during the preseason to make sure you don't have long lasting injuries, but it's been good. And, personally for me, a weekend day off for sure, if not 2, is great for mental health for student athletes and coaches, because it's a true day off. You can go to church on Sunday. You can mow your grass. You can have a true day off. My staff can be with their families, and well, for me too, it's really good for all of us. And then you come back and you're so much well refreshed, because every coach right now, we're all in the 65 plays to put in, and when do you balance it, and with midterms and such, how much can they put in, how much can you not? Always conscious and asking kids about their mental health. We have sports psychology every week, and that's vitally important coming off the year we had last year. But I really like this team, Zach. I'm really excited about them. There will be some new names out there that will add to the common names of the Kaijas, Brooks, and M's. But the A10 is gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough.
In addition to those names, I would be remiss not to ask you about Julia and the breakthrough that she had last season. It seemed like freshman year there was just some inconsistency there, and it seemed like there were a lot more positives last year, which is tough to get a positive out of. Just how have
And
you
and
maturity?
yeah, forgive me for not, you sit here and you just start talking about your kids. Julia is one of those names in those guards. When you look at Julia, Marissa, and Kaiser, they're fantastic together. Julia is a facilitator. She's a talker. She's a leader. She's an amazing kid that really wants what's best for the team. And she makes us better, Zach. She just makes us better. I'd mentioned Kylie and Natalie. Those are our 5 guards that are really going to rotate a lot. But and the fact is, like, who's your starters right now? It could go either way. I mean, you could say Kaija, and you're good to go there, and then the rest can fill in. But in yesterday's practice, I had Kaija, Marissa, and Julia going together, and that's the best our pace has been all season. But Natalie's a great scorer, Kylie's a good scorer. There's what I like is that they're all 5 going to play. So it's not who starts, not who finishes. It's how we do as a collective guard unit in terms of getting a job done. But Julia, you're right. She's one of our best on-court leaders, tremendous facilitator. Our pace is the best when she's on the floor. Defensively, she sniffs things out. She's an amazing player.
With last season being over, just how were the conversations with Marissa? Obviously, physically being behind on the court, but also trusting her and letting you know that you trust her and she's going to have that valuable role this year.
Yeah, Mars an amazing player. She is just God-given talent. She can score the ball. She was St. Louis, the city player of the year, 4 state championships. She knows how to win. She knows how to play. And I believe in her. I tell her all the time. I mean, she's doing some great things in practice. Very, very coachable. She's in very, very good shape. And somebody that she knows that when the game's on the line, she's going to go try to make a play, and she's doing a great job of that. So when it's not just, I know a lot of people scout and they say, stop Kaija, you stop everybody. That's going to be something that they might think twice about, because Marissa really can play. And I do trust her on the floor. She's smart. She's a winner. Not afraid to make the big play, and defensively is one of our best on-ball defenders.
What did you like about Brooks' response? Obviously, Kendra was kind of the go-to post a couple of years ago, and it seemed like there were some peaks and valleys there. Just what did you like from her response in the post, and how has she continued to grow for you all this?
Yeah, I think, and I caught most of that, but Brooks, freshman year was dynamite. Her sophomore year, and she'll be the first to admit it, wasn't as she wanted it. Last year, she comes back to the double double, and she's a force. I mean, her breakthrough game, I think last year was against St. Bonaventure. She was unstoppable. She played like a pro. I mean, she can really run the floor. She's pinning inside. She and Emma are captains this year, and from on and off the court, gives us energy, gives us leadership, gives us confidence. We're working on her right now with some roll and rise stuff. She's caught on the perimeter a little bit, and both she and Mariama are going to have to knock down that 12-foot shot because people won't guard them. And she's put a lot of work in that area. But as far as defensively, she's a rim protector. We all know that. Great shot blocker. Really active defensively. I can put her up on a ball if we want a diamond press. She's the whole package. And this is her senior year plus one. We get another one. So she'll be a super senior. She knows what's expected of the program. Consistency is something that I will continue to challenge her on this year, like game by game by game, to be consistent. That's everybody on the team, quite frankly. But Brooke is, she's really a senior right now, and it's weird that she's that old already. That freshman class that's so electric wants to do something that's not been done.
With M, the biggest compliment I can personally give her is it doesn't seem like she gets too high or she gets too low. She stays pretty even keel, at least from the little bit that I see. Just how much is that heartbeat that she has important, and how can that be contagious?
She is the heartbeat. That's an understatement. She is that on and off the court. She is a tenacious rebounder. Tenacious. Just needs continued confidence. And every time she shoots it, I say, great shot, Em, great shot. She's going to need, and she will. We've already talked about it. She's going to be able to knock those 12 to 14-foot shots down. That's going to open things up for a lot of people. And she is one of our best defenders. She's strong. She's physical. She's smart. And just the pulse of the team in terms of her personality. She cheers for everybody all the time. She is no drama, no nonsense, get to work, bust her tail, and knows that she is the one people are going to lean on. And we are continuing to tell her that her teammates are there for her to lean on. So she's a big giver, but everybody that gives also has to have somebody that gives to them. And I love her. She's a very special human being, and I love her dearly. And it's not something that she doesn't know. I just keep trying to infuse her with confidence to go ahead and let it rip on offense, because she will give it up for somebody else when indeed she might be open sometimes.
To start the season off, you have 3 non-conference home games, all challenging. Just how good is it maybe to start the year at home and get some of those plays, get some of that confidence, and hopefully in your case get some wins going to build that confidence?
Yeah. Well, and there's a build up too. And we open up with the team that ended our season last year with Northern Iowa. And they will scout our team. They'll do the same thing. We'll be fully prepared for that, but they're a very, very good team. Then Indiana State, who always gives us a little trouble, and then Missouri. So it kind of, you can't overlook any of them. You got to take care of home business. But to be back home, we didn't play very many home games last year, quite honestly. I mean, we were undefeated on the road, and that was nice till the postseason. I mean, we played very well on the road. It was the only normality we had was to get on a charter flight and fly to play teams. So getting back home and our fans are really, really excited about. We have an announcement today in a little while with some really cool things happening in our program, and at St. Louis University, and the fans are really excited about seeing us play again. So we need to continue to prepare in these next few weeks. I mean, the time is running out, and we're not going to be tip top, but we want to try to get better every single day and bring some momentum into the conference.
Guys, last season shot approximately 72% from the line. Just, I know it's tough to practice free throws in practice in an in-game situation, but just what makes you all have pride in that free throw line when the game's on the line?
Well, our ultimate goal, Zach, is 80%. You know, you want to get to, if you're 80, then why not 90? So we shoot a minimum of 25 during practice. And then there's obviously outside shooting. So it's hard because it takes time to shoot free throws in practice. But we call it free throw rotation where it goes pretty fast. I'm not trying to rush them, but they all have a ball and we use all of our baskets and they shoot two and rotate in it. We can get 25 in within 5 minutes where they rotate, get to their basket. So we pride ourselves in it's important. They're deal breakers, they're game breakers. They're 1 or 2 points. You play so hard right up to the end and you miss two. And now without the 1-and-1, you got 2 freebies every time. So, you've got to be a solid free throw shooting team. And that's all positions. It's not just the post players. It's like consistent throughout our team. We want to be shooting near 80 at the minimum.